This year they will.
Commissioner Look. Commissioner Brastad.
Here.
Commissioner West.
Here.
Commissioner Schulte.
Here.
Commissioner Meisner.
Here.
Commissioner Gamache.
Here.
Thank you. Next, we will look for a motion to approve tax claims and abatements.
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gamache. Any further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Brastad.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
And that item passes. Next, we'll consider accepting the regular claims paid over $500 for the periods ending January 3rd of 2020 and January 17th of 2020, and purchase card claims paid for those same periods. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Look, second by Commissioner West. Further discussion or questions? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad.
Aye.
And that item passes as well. Next, we will look for approval of the minutes from the following two meetings. January 7th of 2020, our statutory and organizational county board meeting, and the same date regular county board meeting.
So
Is
moved.
there a motion by Commissioner Brasted to approve the minutes? Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Look. Any changes, corrections, additions, or deletions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The minutes are adopted. Next, we have a couple items under Chair's remarks, both of which are in relation to the awards Anoka County recently received from the Association of Minnesota Counties, or AMC. for innovative programs and collaborations. I'm going to ask Commissioner Brasted, who serves as the chair of the county's Human Services Committee, to talk about our first item and introduce our special guest from AMC. Commissioner Brasted.
Thank you, Commissioner Schulte. Our Human Services Leadership Mentorship Program was developed to connect new leaders to more experienced staff for increased support. The purpose of this mentorship program is to increase workforce retention and positively impact the quality of supervision, program service delivery, and enhance customer service. By matching pairs based on interests and expertise, members were able to connect on a more personal and professional level by sharing books, articles, and other leadership tools. Through innovation and creativity, this program increased communication, coordination, and collaboration in support of division leadership. We have the honor today of having a representative from AMC joining us to recognize the Human Services Leadership Mentorship Program winning the 2019 County Achievement Award. I'd like to introduce Ryan Erdman, the AMC Member Engagement Coordinator. And then we'll also have Cindy Caesar come up to receive the award. So Ryan, welcome, and please tell us more about this award.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner Brasted. And I would be remiss if I didn't start my remarks again. I'm Ryan Erdman, the Member Engagement Coordinator for the Association of Minnesota Counties. And one of the things on my list is coming out to counties is something we're doing new this year. The first time we've done this for our award winners to come out and present these in the local county and do some of that local recognition. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Commissioner Schulte for his leadership. We're just coming off a year of his term as president. I'm still an executive committee member, but thank you, Scott, for all of your time and commitment to our association. Every year, we give a number of awards, including the County Achievement Award, which goes to typically about 4, and there were 4 this year, 4 award winners. So we've got 87 counties, hundreds of programs across the state, and we're selecting 4 of them as really outstanding awards that represent innovation and improvement in county government. And this one certainly is a model that I think a lot of folks have expressed interest in, and that we're happy to talk about and give some recognition to. And you described it very well, Commissioner Brasted, and I know Cindy will be up here in a minute to talk about it. So I won't talk so much about the program itself, but part of the reason we want to do this presentation in counties is because of all the folks sitting out here, primarily, as well as those of you that weren't able to join us at the conference. I mean, there's a lot of credit that goes to a county in all of these projects, and part of that is leadership from you folks. You have set a standard that innovation and excellence is something that you want from your staff, and when you do that, then they are given what they need in order to, create innovative programs like this. So without that leadership, it doesn't happen. But then now you've set that standard. These are the folks that have executed, and these are the folks that are benefiting. And so, it's great for us to come out and give the plaque, and I'm glad you gave us the plaque back so we can represent it. That's the behind the scenes here. We presented this once already, but we're going to do it again. It's sort of theater. And, it's great for you guys to get recognition from your peers. It's our association. It's our annual meeting. And so we're never going to stop doing that. But it's an opportunity for all the folks that are participating and made this program work and made it a worthy program of an award that we don't necessarily get to present it to and recognize in that same way when we just do it at our conference. So that's another big part of the reason we're here. So I think that's probably enough said on that. I will have Cindy come up and we'll fake present the award again. Camera right over there.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, my name is Cindy Caesar, and I'm the Human Service Division Manager. I just want to thank Ryan for coming out to Anoka County, just personally and talking about the award. AMC has been such a support to human services over many years. We have MACSA, MACAC, all of our different organizations that they support, and they support us legislatively on many different fronts, so we just really appreciate them. The mentorship program, it was developed as part of a human service plan that we put together back in 2016. At that time, we had listening sessions with our top leadership. which is over 100 staff. And we had asked them some strategic questions about what they felt they needed in terms of their day-to-day work, but also moving into the future. What became very clear to us is that our core leadership team, they were retiring in the last couple years or were thinking about retiring in the future. And so we needed to think about what we needed to put in place to kind of usher in that next group of supervisors. Research, told us that new leaders, new supervisors coming into their roles, that first year is extremely critical. And so what we learned is they need really good training. They also need a good supervisor that has solid coaching skills, but also they need to be paired up with somebody that can support them outside of their regular supervision and transfer some of that information that they've learned. What better way, to move into this program? We tapped on the shoulders of many of our different leaders and had asked them to pair up with our brand new supervisors 2 months into their role and support them over the year on various different goals that they had. I'm very happy to say that we're in our second year, and so we have matched 18 different pairs. And the first year was sort of a pilot. And what was interesting is we had heard from the groups that once we were done with the program, they wanted to continue. And so they had built really good relationships. And of course, in mentorship, you learn as much being the mentor as you do the mentee. We also believe that this program is really critical as part of succession planning for the future. For that next level of staff that will be moving into the positions that core leadership are in right now. We have to think about, of course, today and attending to their needs, but also think about the bigger picture and the organization as we move forward in the future. I want to introduce some of our staff. Not everyone could make it, but I have 2 co-leaders that stepped up. I tapped on their shoulders once we had developed the program to kind of move the program forward. And so Jody Shanelek is here from Job Training, and I want her to stand up. And then also Janet Bolander from Social Service. The 2 of them have sort of set the tone, did the training to start the program, and helped it really sustain moving forward. Tracy Shermer, she's our Human Services planner. She's been instrumental in kind of organizing the program. And then in the audience, I have the advisory committee, some of the members that were here from the very beginning, and they continue to meet and provide advice and direction. I want them to stand up. And then we also have a couple mentees and mentors. So I just want to thank them. Without them, the program would not be successful, and just ensuring that it sustains in the future.
Well, thank you, Cindy, and congratulations to the leadership, mentorship team for all your hard work in getting this program off the ground. We're proud to be recognized by AMC for the quality of this great mentorship program. It's been integral to providing a work environment that is professional and dedicated to serving the public. Keep up the great work. I will say, as a policy leader in Anoka County, I take so much pride in the awards we receive, whether it's from AMC or the Humphrey School or whoever it is that NACO at times that awards us. When I say us, I mean you, the employees of Anoka County, these fabulous awards. It's all based in hard work. It's based in taking a risk sometimes, but it's truly about our mission statement to be respectful and innovative and fiscally responsible. And you all take that to heart every day, and we really do as a board. We really do appreciate that. And these awards are one way of really exemplifying what you do. So thanks again. It should be noted the Human Services Leadership Mentorship Program was one of 5 county government entities statewide to be recognized at the Humphrey School of Public Affairs Local Government Innovations Awards in December. They received this award. So congratulations again on that, and thank you for all you do. And thank you to Ryan from AMC for taking time out of his day to come here and present on behalf of AMC. But his work here is not done yet. For our second item under Chair's remarks today, we're recognizing the Minnesota Technology Corridor for winning the 2019 Minnesota Association of Professional County Economic Developers, or known as MAPSED, Outstanding Economic Development Effort Award from AMC. The Minnesota Technology Corridor is a public-private partnership between Anoka County, Washington County, Community Developers Agency, Connexus Energy, and several other businesses and cities. This collaborative effort was started to attract technology companies to the North Metro that would benefit from an abundant electrical capacity, unlimited fiber optic bandwidth, large parcels of available land, and the talented workforce in the area. This award celebrates successful economic development efforts and partnerships that fulfill MAPSED's mission of fostering economic growth, expanding tax base, and enhancing quality of life in Minnesota counties. Again, we're honored to be joined by Ryan Erdman from AMC to tell us a little more and present the award to our partners, Jaquel Hader from Anoka County, Washington County's Chris Eng, and Justin Partee from Connexus Energy. Ryan.
Thank you, Chair Schulte. And once again, one of the things that, other things that we do as AMC is we partner with our affiliate groups, and Cindy mentioned it in hers, and most of you know I was the director for MACAC, the Community Corrections Director, so there's my folks back there. Community Corrections guys I worked with for a dozen years, and one of the things we like to do is we partner with the affiliates, and in this case, MAPSED, and I thank you for saying out the association names as a director of a 6-word affiliate. I got tired of spelling it all out. So we'll just go with MAPSED from here on out. And the affiliates are an important component of the work we do at AMC. I mean, they're the professional organizations for those professional staff across all areas of government. And I just referenced MACAC. MAPSED is the county economic developers. Cindy referenced MACSA and the Local Public Health Association and others that really support the work we do, and the expertise that we're able as staff to provide you as commissioners comes from them once again. So a lot of being here is about the recognition for the folks in the audience. And in this case, every year we do, in this case, a single award. Sometimes there's two, but this year it's just a single award in partnership with MAPSED for unique and innovative economic development projects. And so, again, you've, Chair Schulte, given the introduction, and I know the staff here can talk in more detail about the program, so I won't go into that. But I want to reiterate our link that we have between our affiliate groups, between the professional staff, and this award that we do in conjunction with MAPSED is just another example of that. So with that, I think Jaquel's coming up, and I don't know if Justin's coming up as well, too. I think we're getting one more picture. So congratulations.
Thank you. Mr. Chair and members of the board, I first want to thank AMC and MAPSED for the award, and I'm honored to be able to speak to it a little bit today. I'd also thank Justin Partee for joining us on behalf of Connexus Energy, and Chris Eng with Washington County sends his wishes. He was not able to attend this morning. But I want to point out why those two partners are so important in the leadership of this board to step forward with the Minnesota Tech Corridor Initiative. If you recall, back in 2018, Connexus Energy sat down with Anoka County and Washington County and kind of started looking at this tech corridor, which involves the cities of Lino Lakes, Centerville, Forest Lake, Hugo, and Columbus, and realized we had an opportunity to partner together to work on development in this corridor and to help attract companies to the North Metro. With that partnership, we quickly brought in the communities to the table. We brought in the partners from the private companies, such as Xcel Energy and the 5 fiber providers. So it was really a collaboration that would not have happened without the leadership of Anoka County's board supporting this with the website launch, with Connexus Energy's partnership in bringing 2 counties together and working with us and bringing their leadership to the table. So I'm honored to be able to work on such a strong collaborative effort that not only is proactive in economic development and really what MAPSED stands for. They really look at partnerships throughout our state and how we can do better and working with growth and tax investment. So this isn't just one small partnership. This is just the first couple years of an initiative that will continue to live on strong as we work at looking at what other partners can we bring into this mix, to not just wait for the phone to ring, but going out there and proactively working with the tech companies. As Mr. Chair had mentioned, tech companies and similar users look at what's already available in this corridor, such as the high fiber, large amounts of tract of land, water capacity, and the partnership is the number one factor that companies looking into our region will continue to strive and value. So the award is just, a first step and the biggest honor we could receive moving forward with an initiative like this. And I'll remind you, at the center of this effort was the Minnesota Tech Corridor website, www.mintech.org. This is a website that houses all this information the partners we've been involved with over the last year and a half had pulled together. So without Connexus Energy and Washington County CDA and Anoka County's leadership, we could not have received this award today. And I want to thank AMC and MAPSET again for the opportunity to recognize all the partners that have been involved. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jaquel and Justin, and congratulations again. And I would like to also thank Bruce Saylor, who's not here, from Connexus. They were the ones that originally brought this to the counties and to the cities, and it's important. They are a huge partner in advancing what we're doing in the public-private sector. So thank you, Connexus, in particular to Bruce Saylor as well. Thank you, Justin, for being here. The Minnesota Technology Corridor has set a precedent for the future partnerships here in the state. The partnership is going to benefit our region for many years to come, and we're proud to be recognized by AMC and MAPSED for this innovative and exciting endeavor. I think I speak for all my fellow county commissioners when I say, great job. Your efforts and dedication to our public are truly appreciated. And thank you, Ryan, for joining us at this celebration today and for all the great work AMC does. Thank you for being here. That does conclude our chair's remarks for today, so we will jump right into our management committee report. Commissioner West.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My information is all informational, so that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner West. We will then jump into the Transportation Committee report. We had the opportunity to meet on Monday, January 13th at our new meeting location, which is the Anoka County Highway Department in Andover. And we have one item for you today, an action item. The committee recommends approval to enter into a license agreement with the City of Andover, allowing for the installation of a monument sign at the northwest corner of Hanson Boulevard and 133rd Avenue, and authorizing the chair of the county board and the county administrator to execute that agreement subject to review by the county attorney as to form and legality. This is directly west from the sheriff's office across Hanson Boulevard, and it is essentially allowing the City of Andover to put up a monument sign, recognizing that that is the entrance to their city from the south. Joe, did I miss anything, or is that pretty much just straightforward, just like that?
No, Mr. Chair, I think you hit it right on the head there. Perfect.
Thank you, Joe. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move it.
A motion by Commissioner Gamache,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Brasted. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad,
Aye.
Commissioner West. Aye.
And that item passes. There is nothing else for action item on your transportation report. Just a reminder of the meeting dates there under informational for those of you wishing to attend, and a reminder that those meetings will be held at the Highway Division. Commissioner Meiser.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just commentary, this meeting was also the first meeting of Jerry, is it Og, his last name?
Ogier.
Auger, excuse
Yep.
me, so of Jerry Auger, and just wanted to welcome him officially, and that was it, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Jerry Auger is our new assistant engineer at the county here. He's in the back of the room. There he is.
Sorry.
Thank you for being here and attending our meetings.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. And that does conclude my transportation report. We will now move to the Finance and Capital Improvements Committee report. Commissioner Look.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Finance and Capital Improvements Committee met on January 21st. Came away with a few action items. We'll get right into them. The committee first recommends the county board approve the following master contracts for construction services. C0007715 with Morcon Construction, C0007716 with RAC Construction, C0007718 with Home Depot U.S. Communities, and C0007717 with Woodcrest Building and Remodeling Incorporated. As members know, we set up master contracts to try and allow for ease of selecting companies that are qualified, and there's a lengthy process for paperwork and making sure that companies have their insurances in place and everything else. So having this all kind of set up and identifying master contracts, we have them with plumbers right now and electricians and those type of services, and this is now more for construction that we find ourselves doing on occasion. So.
Thank you, Commissioner Look. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gamache. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner West. Further discussion. Commissioner Meisner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, just to share part of what went on with this particular committee with the master contracts, and just to point out too that the master contracts do not completely deny other opportunities for businesses, and so I do just want to point that out as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comments? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye. That item passes. Next item.
Mr. Chair, item 2 is the county has been doing multiple security upgrades throughout the county, and this is where the committee recommends the county board approve entering into contract C000776 with RJ Marco Construction for county administration security upgrades in the amount of $56,977 plus a contingency not to exceed 10%. We have kind of an open access coming through here, and we found at times that the people somewhat make their way through without anyone detecting them, and somewhat putting our staff at risk. So we, very similar to what we did for the county attorney's office and other areas as well, there's kind of a key code in for those people that have access to certain areas, and certainly the public will be met out in the foyer, if you will, to assist them and call whoever they're here to see, to greet them, and kind of more of a controlled access opportunity there. So.
Thank you, Commissioner Look. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Brastad, second by Commissioner Gamache. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
And that item passes. On to item 3.
Item 3 is the committee recommends the county board adopt resolution 2020-F1 accepting a donation gift from the Anoka County Employees Club. And I believe these are plantings that we annually plant around the facility here. And this is just the necessary acceptance of those plantings.
Thank you, Commissioner Look. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Meisner,
Second.
second by Commissioner Gamache. Further discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
And that item passes. Item 4.
Mr. Chair, item 4, annually we go through this process in which the committee recommends the county board approve the annual designation of depositories to U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, BMO Harris Bank, and delegate the authority to make electronic fund transfers to the Finance and Central Services Division Manager and their designees. I will move
Excellent.
that.
That's a motion by Commissioner Look. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gamache. Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? That'll pass unanimously. Item 5.
Item 5, Mr. Chair, is the committee recommends the county board adopt resolution 2020-F2, authorizing the conveyance of property to Anoka Independent School District Number 11. This was a pass-through bond for a facility of theirs, and as this doesn't impact our levy or anything like that, but essentially we've done this with other schools as well, where we'll let the bond and we'll receive the dollars for it. Has no impact on us, but once the bonds are paid for, then we convey the property over to the rightful property owner. So,
Very good. I'll move it. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Meisner. Further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
aye.
And that item passes. Item 6.
Item 6, Mr. Chair, is the committee recommends the county board adopt resolution 2020-F3, advertising for the sale of the property located in Lino Lakes as prescribed in Minnesota Statute 373.01. This was the property along the highway that was originally determined to be used for a future library. Plans then changed to enhancing the library that we have there and not utilizing this land. So we're looking at the process now to market this property, make it available for purchase, as we've done with other, I think you'll recall, regional rail properties in particular, and try and see if we can get this back on the tax rolls, as we don't foresee that we have a future need for the property at all.
Thank you, Commissioner Look. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner West. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gamache. Further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That passes unanimously.
And Mr. Chair, just a couple items under additional information items there. We did have discussion about a requested fitness center over at the Blaine Human Service Center. As folks know, we have a fitness center downstairs, I think commonly referred to as the Cage. And a lot of people end up using that, and that's good to see. And I'm happy to see that, because with fitness comes kind of reduction in usage fees of our health care and the need for health care. And we've also set up through Experience Fitness also an opportunity for employees to go there. And certainly we want to encourage, as Blaine is kind of off-site, and had a request come in from them, and we certainly want to allow those people to be able to exercise on lunch breaks or after work or whatever the time is that best suits them. And the final item that I wanted to comment on as well is a student recruitment plan that's being proposed. We have, as we know, there's workforce shortage, and we're having difficulty identifying people that want to get into this line of work, and hiring these type of people. There's a shortage of those. So we want to establish, and Andrew kind of helped spearhead this. He's in the crowd here today, but want to try and work with our local schools maybe to identify kids that may be interested in this line of work and help them potentially achieve that goal through education or through whatever training they may need, and try and onboard them at some point to provide. I remember as a youngster, no one really approaches you on different things that you can do, but some kids might have the skill set or the desire to work in this area. We want to find those kids, we want to attract them and show them that they can have a career in this field, and this is what something like that might look like. So giving them kind of a path forward, I think, is a great idea, and something that we should definitely capitalize on and help them move along in their career path. So anyways, a couple of interesting information items. Aside from that, it concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Look. Commissioner Gamache, then Meisner.
Thank you. This was my first meeting of the Finance Committee, so I appreciate being appointed to that committee. And I want to thank Andrew for the brief history lesson that he also provided when we had the discussion about the tours that are going on with the library and the parks facilities. I really did appreciate that. It was good to hear how You guys have been working over the last number of years to get facilities up to and improved as we're looking forward to that. So I'm looking forward to that, now moving to the libraries and to the parks facilities as well. I think that's a good policy to have everything kind of focused on facilities so that we understand what's going on all across the county in all of the different buildings that we have and facilities that we have. So I appreciate that, and it was a great history lesson. Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
Commissioner Meisner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And just to elaborate what Commissioner Look was talking about, these are specifically jobs in the trades is kind of the focus for that. So I am personally very supportive of that. And then also we had this discussion in the committee as well, but there's already groups that are working towards this. I believe it's the Anoka Area Chamber. They've got the manufacturing cohort. Metro North Chamber is doing a lot of work also, again, kind of focusing too on upstreaming and getting in touch with the youth that are coming up. So I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on the details, and I am also just very in favor of this and really looking forward to see how this develops. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Commissioner Look, for your report. Next, we will move to the Human Services Committee report. Commissioner Brasted.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The committee met on January 21st, and we have two resolutions before us today. The first is Resolution 2020-HS1. This resolution approves and ratifies our economic assistance bills, and I'll offer that.
The resolution's been offered. Further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
That resolution passes. Next item.
The next item is Resolution 2020-HS2, and this is to accept gifts for human services. It was donated items for children placed in foster care through our Children and Family Services. The organizations are Adoption is Love Fund, the St. Joseph's of the Lakes Catholic Church, St. Philip's Lutheran Church, Safe Haven Foster Shop, and the Forgotten Initiative are all very generous in their donations, and I'll offer that resolution.
Thank you, Commissioner Brasted. The resolution has been offered. Further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
And that resolution passes.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Brasted. Commissioner Meisner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm sorry, I just wanted to chat a little bit about what's on the informational for Human Services. And this is I just wanted to share my excitement about one of the appointments for our Workforce Development Board, which is Casey Kai. And I actually met Casey years ago at a business council meeting. And he was so energetic. He's an entrepreneur. He's a son of an immigrant. And I believe he donates 30% of all of his profits. He's currently the owner and operator of K Mama Sauce. So anyway, I just wanted to share that as well. We're really looking to promote diversity and inclusion on the Workforce Development Board as well as throughout Anoka County. And thank you.
Thank you. And that will be our last item on the agenda later today is actually that appointment. So it's an informational item, but we will get there eventually. With that, thank you, Commissioner Brasted, for your report. And we will turn to the Parks Committee report. Commissioner Gamache.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Parks Committee met on Wednesday, January 8th at the Bunker Hills Activity Center. We have 4 action items. The first one, the committee recommends that the county board adopt resolution 2020 PRK01, accepting a gift from Nick Roberts and the Roberts family to fund improvements to the Rydell farmhouse. Nick Roberts is actually a direct descendant of the Rydell family and has expressed interest in ensuring that the farmhouse stays in the great condition that it is today and stays in that condition for generations to come. So not only was he and the family making this $10,000 donation for maintenance and improvement to the house, but also talked about and discussed a little bit with us a foundation that he's looking to set up as well. So we appreciated that. That's exciting. We think the Rydell House looks great, and we want it to stay that way. So to have a little support and a little help in that regard from the family is great. And Jeff Perry is with us here today. And Jeff, did you want to add anything? I know you had a little more discussion with Nick, perhaps.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Jeff Perry, Park Director for Anoka County. And just quickly, Mr. Roberts is the great-grandson of Elvin and Ida Rydell, who settled that property back in the 1880s and built the farmhouse that you can see in the image here. So Mr. Roberts, just a very generous, thoughtful person to come forward to approach Anoka County. We're very grateful for his donation and his future work towards establishing a private foundation just to ensure that the family residence is preserved well into the future. So again, just very grateful for his generosity and his donation.
Thank you, Jeff. Commissioner Look.
Mr. Chair, I just wanted to comment as well. If you haven't had the opportunity to go to this property, it is a very unique property. I mean, I don't know if we do tours of this property or not, but having visited other areas of the country, this would be a tour type of scenario. I mean, how it came to be and how the Navy, I believe, used it, or just very, very interesting history. And to the donation, I mean, Nick Roberts was a young, up-and-coming commercial realtor, very bright individual, and just a pleasure to sit and speak with him a little bit and kind of hear some of the history that he knew of this property. And so, I mean, unbelievable donation, and certainly appreciate his desire to preserve this, because it is a jewel of Anoka County.
Thank you. Commissioner Look. Commissioner Meiser.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I'm just going to echo those sentiments. I have not had the privilege of meeting Nick yet, but this is in my district, and I thank you for pointing that out too. It is such a unique and great property, beautiful landscape as well, right along the Mississippi River there. So thank you, Nick, and I hope to meet you soon.
Is that a motion, Commissioner Meiser?
It is.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gamache. Any further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye. And that item passes. Item 2.
Yes, item 2, the committee recommends the county board adopt resolution 2020 PRK-02, accepting a gift from Connexus Energy to fund natural and cultural history programming through our Wargo Nature Center. And this is something that, speaking of our friends at Connexus Energy that we talked about earlier today, they have been participating in this. They donate $25,000 a year for natural and cultural history programming. This is done at Wargo Nature Center. The grant funds the annual wildlife outreach program and the Heritage Lab program. This is the 29th consecutive year of sponsorship by Connexus Energy. That's pretty incredible, and we're here to thank them a lot because of that. And if many of the young people that might be watching today have probably participated in one of these outreach programs at Wargo Nature Center, and many thanks go out to Connexus for doing this work for us. So I'll make that motion.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
And there's a second from Commissioner Meiser. I will just comment that this just once again exemplifies what a true community partner is. Connexus always goes above and beyond, whether we're talking economic development or parks, or in this case, programming at the Heritage Lab or Wargo. They're always there.
Yeah.
And their hand's not out asking for anything, their hand's out with money, because they want to be a true partner to make sure that our community becomes stronger and better. So for that, Connexus, thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
And that item passes. Item 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The committee recommends that the county board authorize an amendment to $325,000 Parks and Trails Legacy Grant. This is Anoka County contract number C00066551A for improvements to the Islands of Peace. We are making some changes, and I'll let Jeff kind of walk through this so I don't mess it up. But I want to make sure that we've got a correction, and it's removing the parking lot from this, and I'll let Jeff kind of explain exactly what's happening.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. This project is a Park and Trail Legacy Grant in the amount of $325,000. We tried to leverage some federal dollars in a matching amount for another $325,000. Unfortunately, the county was not successful in procuring that particular federal grant. So with that said, we had to back out the parking lot component of the project. The parking lot component, the construction estimate was $180,000. But we are continuing with the rest of the scope of work for this project, which will include trails, retaining walls on the island, ADA access down the steep slope to get close to the river. And there's also 4 large box culverts and some hydrology and riverbank stabilization work that will be included in this grant. So again, this is simply just to reduce the scope of work from the original proposal, and it's more of a formality for the county board to make this amendment so we can continue with construction of this project.
Thank you. Last year, Mr. Chair, I was able to, I toured the island in the fall, I believe it was, or maybe it was even 2 years ago now, but I did notice that there did need to be some work down on the island, and we've already started brush work, cutting down some trees and things like that, so that would open it up a little bit more for better sight of the river when people are down there. So some of that work's already begun, and that will continue to get done. The parking lot, while it could use maybe some freshening up, and we can do some of that, getting rid of any potholes that may have come up or anything like that, but just not doing the full rebuild of what we were thinking of possibly doing. It's still a great place to go. The Islands of Peace is a great piece of property that is right on the river. It's beautiful, actually. And for those who will be able to see it later on, I think we'll begin construction, full construction earlier this spring?
Correct.
Okay. So I'll move that, Mr. Chair.
Motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
And there's a second by Commissioner Meisner. Just for a point of geography, for those interested, this is almost due north of the Rydell house, just across Highway 694, but on the same stretch of river, just north of the Rydell house. Any further comments? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
And that item passes. Item 4.
Item 4, Mr. Chair, is, again, that's, let me get back to it here, hang on. The committee recommends the county board award a contract to R.J. Marco Construction, Inc. of Little Canada, Minnesota, in the amount of $128,223 for the construction of restroom improvements to the 2 restroom buildings at Lake George Regional Park, Anoka County, contract C0007462. We originally, I think, were looking at possibly doing 3 different restrooms, and we're pulling one of those out, mainly because I think, well, to fit in within what the money that we have, but also because that is actually used more for the YMCA camp, I believe, in that area. So these are the 2 main restrooms right there for people that are docking their boats and participating at swimming and other things that they're near the park and the campgrounds. So, or not campgrounds, but like for the area of picnics and things like that. So these are the 2 main ones, and that's why we wanted to put those on as the most important part. Jeff, did you want to add anything, or did I get most of that right?
You got it perfect.
And since I didn't, and since I moved the last one, and I should have allowed Commissioner Meisner to do it, I'll let Commissioner Look make the motion.
There's a motion by Commissioner Look. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gamache. Further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
And that item passes.
And, Mr. Chair, we had the meeting calendar set, as everybody would notice that we met on a Wednesday. We usually meet on the first Tuesday, and we'll get back to that starting in February. And That's, I think, I didn't have anything else to add. I'm not sure if, I know Commissioner West couldn't make that meeting, so maybe Commissioner Look wants to talk about any informational items, but I'm wrapping up my part of the meeting update.
Thank you, Commissioner Gamache. Seeing no other comments, we'll move to the Public Safety Committee Chair Report. Commissioner Brasted.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We were unable to meet due to not having a quorum, so I have 4 items that I would recommend. The first being under the Sheriff's Office is I would recommend adoption of Resolution 2020-PS01, which is accepting dedicated donation from the Koss Family Foundation. This was a $15,000 donation to the Sheriff's Office for the support of the K-9 program.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner West. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gamache. Further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brasted.
Aye.
And that item passes. On to item 2.
I would recommend approval and execution of contract C00074448, which is the 2020 law enforcement contract with the City of Nowthen in the amount of $260,504 and a term of January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2020. Nowthen has contracted with our Sheriff's Office since 2012 for their law enforcement services, and I'd be happy to move this.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Second. Second by Commissioner Gamache. Further comment? Commissioner Luck.
Mr. Chair, I want to comment on this. I think I've been very consistent on the topic of contracts with our communities. And again, this is a service that is not mandated. Actually, as a city, the cities are required to provide their own police service. In this case, some of them wish to contract with the Sheriff's Office. I want to also thank Bill Keller for researching the insurance topic and coming up with information on that. And as I understand, we're going to be talking about that more in a work session, which is going to be good. The concern I have is the same concern I've always had, is that the insurance companies will not, are reluctant to insure against this. And the premiums are very high and the deductibles are very high. And the reason why is because, they know that the payouts on these scenarios can be extremely high. And of course, they're a business. They're not going to make any money if they have to make large payouts. And really, they go off of history in terms of what other payouts have been nationwide, and it seems in our courts today and with some of our juries, at least on the state side, we have a tort limit of $1.5 million, which is I think a reasonable exposure. But federally speaking, there is no limit. The sky's the limit, and so when we are looking at a potential federal lawsuit. As a self-insured county, we're on the hook. Not only the community that we're contracting with for, in this case, $260,000, but every community across the county is going to have to bear that. And so we were trying to identify indemnification. We're trying to see if the cities can indemnify us, and I think that's something that on a state level, even going through the League of Minnesota Cities, it still has the $1.5 million. Federally, it doesn't even touch it. And so from my standpoint, I just want to kind of equate it a little bit to personal. As a youngster, I got into motocrossing, I got into a lot of downhill skiing, I got into broomball, I got into all sorts of things that were high risk or had the potential of high risk. And as a youngster, you take a fall, you take a hit, you break something, and you heal pretty quick. But as you get older, you know that these risks are not necessarily in your best interest anymore because you don't heal so fast anymore. and things don't recover as fast, or you feel the dividends of 40 years before of the, perhaps the indiscretions that you had. And I think what's happening is that we are, again, we're not mandated to do this. I appreciate the sheriff wanting to provide it. I think there's some efficiencies for communities that are out there, but I think it puts us at an increased risk. I know it puts us at an increased risk, because if you look at the claims across the nation, they're endless and huge, okay? So from that standpoint, I want to commend the sheriff on his training, because I think we've had limited amount of claims. But at some point, I'm not willing to roll that dice anymore. And I think because I think we have one township left under statutory requirement, we have to provide sheriff service to that township. I'm okay with that. As far as doing a day-to-day policing effort for communities, we start to inherit more risk than I think is judicious for us as a county being self-insured. That's been my opinion before. We've been trying to mitigate that a little bit, just say, hey, can we get some outside insurance to cover our costs? And I don't believe that we're able to do that. I don't believe that we're able to necessarily get to that level, at least from a federal standpoint, of protecting the rest of our residents. And it's not that there's police misconduct, it's that they're accused of police misconduct. And then it goes before the juries, and that's when it can all break loose at that point. So I've been consistent on this. I understand that Now Then is one of my communities. I understand that they want to proceed with this contract. I'm opposed to the contract. They can continue to support it on their end from their city council. That's a decision they get to make. And but from my standpoint, I see it as unnecessary risk.
Thank you, Commissioner Look. Commissioner Brassad.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We do have Sheriff Stewart here in attendance, and I would like to give him the opportunity to address this contract if he so desires.
Thank you. And just as a reminder to everybody, we do intend to workshop this at some point so we can all fully understand the letter that Bill Keller provided, displaying his research as to what type of coverages are available or not available, as the case may be. Sheriff.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Certainly this has been a topic of discussion, not just here, but across the country in a wide variety of areas and arenas. And I think we've also seen that across the country it's been established as a best practice for us to be able to collaborate in the economy of scale that comes to the benefit of the citizens who choose those contract services through the Sheriff's Office. Having said that, even if tomorrow we eliminated all of the law enforcement contracts, while I think it would be detrimental financially and from a personal safety standpoint to the majority of our county, the other side of it is our largest liability is in the jail. Our other liability areas are through our civil process area, and just by providing services, many of which are statutorily required outside of providing contract services. So the existence of the Sheriff's Office will not wane and will not go away, even if contracts did. And knowing that the largest liability are those services that we provide on a countywide basis, it's not just the law enforcement contracts. And in fact, statistically, the most of our payouts that have occurred over the years, as was mentioned, even if we do everything right, people can make allegations, and typically those are in those areas of those countywide services. So virtually every community in Anoka County would have to figure out what their fair share of that insurance liability premiums and costs would be, knowing again that the majority of our settlements have been in non-contract communities over the years. So it's not an easy answer. I understand Commissioner Look's concerns, and it's a good question to ask. However, as we've evaluated it internally, externally, over the years, we've asked the county to come in, we've asked risk management, we've asked finance, everybody to come in and make sure we're doing this as fairly and equitably as possible. And we have, and we've assessed it over and over, and this is a best practices model. And in fact, the Minnesota Sheriff's Association asked me to come and present on law enforcement contracts to all of the new sheriffs at the rookie school because of the practices in place in Anoka County. So I think what we're doing is not only the best practices, but is the best thing for the citizens of Anoka County.
Thank you, Sheriff Stewart. Any further discussion? Commissioner Meisner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'm very open to hearing the information in the work session, but I will keep it really simple. You know, you talked about Commissioner mandated, so I understand it's not mandated, but when it comes to public safety, I think it's about being good partners to our communities, period. So that's kind of where I stand in philosophy in regards to these contracts. But again, I do look forward to hearing more information in the future.
Commissioner Gamache.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the workshop as well. Not to put you on the spot, Sheriff, but do you know in the 87 counties in Minnesota how many do a similar type of program that we're doing here where they actually work with their cities? I know that they cover in the rural areas, that's probably the only police force they may have. But I'm kind of curious, we're not the only county that has these types of contracts, are we?
Not by a long shot, Mr. Chair, Commissioner Gamache. We have, I'd say it's a standard practice. You get outstate, I mean, the sheriff is the law enforcement for the county, and that's understandable if they're dealing largely with townships and smaller communities. But even across the metropolitan area, I would hazard to guess all, I think it's literally every single, I'm kind of scrolling through my mind right now, but I believe every Metro Sheriff's Office provides law enforcement contracts for their communities.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second before us. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Opposed?
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
And that item passes. On to item 3.
I would recommend approval and execution of contract C0007755, the 2019 State Homeland Security Program Grant between the State of Minnesota, Department of Public Safety, and Anoka County Emergency Management in the amount of $75,000 and a term of January 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move it.
Motion by Commissioner West. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gamache. Further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Look, Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye. And that item passes. Item 4.
I would recommend approval and execution of contract C0007754, the 2019 Urban Area Security Initiative Grant between the State of Minnesota, the Department of Public Safety, and Anoka County Emergency Management in the amount of $200,000 and a term of January 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021. And I'll move that.
There's a motion before us. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Meisner. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
And that item passes.
And that concludes my report. Thank you.
And that does conclude our committee reports for today. We'll go to item 9 on your agenda, which is committee appointments, and we'll consider reappointing Robert Edwards, representing mental health professionals, to the Children's Mental Health Advisory and Coordination Council for a 3-year term ending February 28th of 2023. Is there a motion to appoint?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second on the floor. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That appointment is made. Next, we'll consider appointing or reappointing the following to the Adult Mental Health Advisory Committee for 3-year terms expiring February 28th of 2023. We will be appointing Anita Judo and Caitlin Johnson, and reappointing Jeff Alberts to the Community Mental Health. He is a community mental health provider, and Ruth Engelstead, a community member. Is there a motion to appoint those people?
I'll move it.
Motion by Commissioner Gamache. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Meisner. Any further discussion? Commissioner Meisner.
Thank you. Just commentary in regards to Anita Judo. I am very pleased that she'll be serving on this advisory committee. She has shared her story and she is someone living with mental health issues, and so I thank her for that, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And those appointments are made. Next, we'll consider reappointing Ann Ratanen Lee to the Minnesota Extension Committee for a 3-year term expiring January 2023. Is there a motion to appoint?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Brasted. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Meisner. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That appointment is made. And lastly, for informational purposes, is the appointment of Kyung Chun or Casey Kai to the Anoka County Workforce Development Board for a term expiring June 30th of 2021. We'll look forward to working with Casey at the Workforce Development Board, as mentioned earlier by Commissioner Meisner. Is there anything else to come before the county board? Commissioner Meisner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a reminder about the special election going on for District 6. The election date is February 11th. However, early voting is going on right now at any of your city halls when they are open for business. There are 2 candidates, Jeff Reinhardt and Cindy Hansen, and the cities that are part of District 6 are parts of Blaine, Circle Pines, Columbus, Lexington, Lino Lakes, and Linwood Township. So please, if you live in District 6, get informed and go out and vote. Thank you.
Just perhaps a correction. I think Centerville is also listed in that.
Oh, thank you.
Section?
Thank you. I did that last time too, and Centerville. Thank you very much.
Very good. Anything else to come before the county board? Seeing none, we are adjourned. And trustee.